I do this because of the music, of course. This is in the center of this, and every people here are all passionate of this music, only for trance. This is how we feel it, how we feel this music all together.
For the street parade, for the electronic music, for the smiling people who's coming, it is a great feeling.
My name is Viktor Kidson and I'm here in Zurich for the Zürich Street Parade for the Synergy Events presents the FSOE 500 float. I'm with Steve Helstrip, also known as the Thrillseekers.
Yeah, Thrillseekers. I guess people in the trance scene kind of know my name, I guess. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up. And
yeah, I was thinking, let's talk about Hydra. Well, first of all, how was last night? How was yesterday? You played the after party and the float. How was that?
Yeah, the float was great because I played back to back with Mike for an hour, which was like 6 tracks each or something. But it was great because you would move through different sections of the city, and in one section there's maybe like 500 people in a street, and then you move on to the next section and there's like 6,000 people in a square. So that was really great. The dynamic and the energy both on the float and on the floor was amazing. So yeah, really good experience, I think. And then the club night was great as well, you know, with really strong turnout, and yeah, very much in for the trance, which is, you know, I don't come to Switzerland very often, but to see a strong crowd there, I don't know how many is international or
I'm not sure either, but it was really strong. Both the float and the after party last night. I read you posted something on social media. You said that your Thrillseekers album took 10 years to finish, and then you gave yourself 10 months for the Hydra album. But you had a plan for those 10 months, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically throughout the whole Escape album, there were tracks that I wrote, and I was like, well, I don't want to release this. I want to keep it for the album, and this was you know.
Oh, so that continued. That continued for the.
So I have all these tracks, and you know something, a good track, melodically, structurally, and the chord progressions within it. Doesn't matter if you release it 20 years ago or 20 years in the future. It will still be a good track. It's all about the production around it. So once I know I have a melody and a theme and an idea, I can put it to bed, move on to the next one, and move on to the next one, and then I come back to it. And my golden rule is that after 2 weeks of working on the track, but also living with it, if I get bored of it in any way, it's gone. That's my golden rule. But I have with the Hydra thing, I kind of thought about this. I mean, Amber came out last year, but I actually did the track the year before. So it's now 2 years old. But I was thinking right back then, maybe I should, because it's a softer, lushy, warmer sound to what Thrillseekers is. And having seen the response that Amber got, and what I actually feel about the music that I'm making, I mean, for me, making that kind of music it just comes really easy. If my mindset is right, you know, I can go into the studio and just play what I love. Of course, I need to keep very current with my DJing, but I try not to be influenced by anything that anyone's doing. All the big names in trance, I try to block it out, but just pick big tunes for my DJ sets, so that, you know, the Hydra sound isn't influenced, and it's just what I love. It has to be yummy, lushy, beautiful melodies, make people cry on the dance floor. That's what it's all about, and that's what the Hydra album is going to be all about.
What was it like to Affinity came out 2003, right?
Yeah.
What was it like to go back to the Hydra sound after, like 2 years ago when you did the Amber?
The thought process was Affinity was a big track for me, so I kind of pulled the same sounds and the feelings and the chord progressions which felt like that track. And it was different to Thrillseekers. It was a softer, more... it's just like yummy. It's like, you know, those kind of feelings.
Warmer too.
Yes, warmer, exactly, yeah. So that's the direction that I'm going with Hydra now. And it's kind of got my 100% focus. And the idea is that the album, I mean, if you listen to Amber, it's almost 10 minutes in length. So the album, we're going to have either 8 or 9 tracks, and they're going to be 10 minutes in length. Each track is a journey, and those tracks all combine and mix to make a bigger journey. But each track will work in its own right. And to further the concept, what I want to do is everything's made so that I can strip out all the drums and the energy, and the tracks will stand up as a really beautiful ambient track. So it'll be a chilled out ambient version, and then the club tracks as well.
So it'll be like 2 CDs.
Yeah, but it's all about it's all about melody, it's all about emotion, and trance, when it's done with such feeling and emotion, you can take away all the drums and it will just make a beautiful chill out track. So
yeah, because
there's 2 areas I want to go.
Because I actually got to listen to 2 tracks before this interview.
Yeah.
2 album tracks, I believe, right?
What did you think?
I was blown away by how calming and soothing they were.
Yeah.
And is that how you work? Like, do you start with the ambient stuff and then you add the club stuff, or how do you think when you produce? Because I was totally blown. I was listening. We're at a terrace here, but I was somewhere else. I was totally somewhere else.
It's all about, music is escapism for me. That's why the album was called Escape. It's to take you away. For me, it always starts with a melody, whether it's on a piano or guitar or some other sound. And if you can have a melody that sounds good on a range of sounds or instruments, then you still love it. And then you go to find a sound that's a little bit unique, but still has the flavour of what Hydra is about. And then it grows from there, and it develops. And I work on it for a couple of weeks. I go away, I do my gigs, come back, work on another track, and then I come back to it. If I lose all interest, it's gone. It's just gone. But if I still like it, so I played you 2 tracks. Those 2 tracks for sure on the album, and they're going to be 10-minute journeys. It's not going to follow the 32 bar intro, and then the kick drops, and then after another 32 bars we get to the breakdown, and then we have and then we have the chorus and the climb down. It's not going to follow any structure. It's going to be a journey in the way that Amber, the original mix of Amber, we had the beautiful breakdown, and everybody was like, well, why didn't you go into the payoff and play the tune? Well, I didn't want to, because
They were growing around me, sort of, too.
yeah. So yeah, it's not going to follow any structure or formula. It's trying to be everything that I miss in trance. That is, I don't know, the mediocrity in trance right now is just like mind-numbing. Everyone's using the same bass pattern. Everyone's using the same kick and the samples. I hate all this. This is what is so wrong with the trance scene right now. Everyone's doing exactly the same thing. So Hydra is all about doing what I want to hear. And first and foremost, it's all about emotion. And everybody can connect with that emotion, because we're human beings, right? So that's what it's about.
How is it looking right now, today? Is it August 13th? Yeah. How is it looking today, the album?
It's very early stages. I'm giving myself, I kind of set this arbitrary timescale of 1 track per month. I know for sure we're going to get to a year, maybe a couple of months after that. But what I want to do before the album is ready was maybe release 1 or 2 tracks to tease it in. But what's going to be different is that the experience of listening to the whole album together, the way that it flows and builds a bigger picture. So it's a listening experience, it's a journey. It's not just like, bish bash bosh track after track, So that's what I'm trying to do, because that's what I miss from, I go back to late 90s, and Tomsky and Chicane, all these wonderful soundscapes that were innovative and new and fresh and warm, and no one could touch that, you know. Where is that today? Who's doing that? Nobody. Even Chicane isn't doing that anymore, you know. So I'm kind of bringing those feelings and sounds and textures, but with a really modern production. So that's what it's about, you know, just bringing back the real yummy stuff. And it's very hard because trance as a genre is almost defined by chord progressions and formula, and I'm trying to break all this and still have it be trance, and at the same time be able to have it as a complete chill out track that works in its own right, playing at the same tempo. And so far, 2 tracks in, it's going really, really well. I'm excited.
I'm excited too after what I heard as well.
Yeah, that was just a little teaser. So yeah, there'll be lots more to come.